Hello, hello, everyone. Wellness Warriors podcast here. I am Coach Suzanne Penn, and with me is Coach Suzanne Baker.
Hello.
So, today we're going to talk about the next shiny thing or just the things. And what really led into this was, I guess Suzanne and I were chatting for one, but I was decluttering my woman cave or my studio or whatever you want to call it. But I was working on cleaning it up and we got into a conversation, and I'm just like, I've got all these things, right? And what I started to realize is that I'll take something and I just end up moving it somewhere else, right? And then another time I'll end up moving it somewhere else. So I'm just constantly just rearranging these things, but at the same time, I feel like they're caving in on me in some ways. Like it's all these things. And then I thought to myself, like I started to see items like the items I had to have, like I had to have this, I had to have that. And some of these items, when I started to look at them, I was like, I've only used that a couple times. Or I used to use that all the time, but now I don't use it at all, and it just got my wheels going of things. And it started to bring up even things like um, things I subscribe to online that I, you know, I think a lot of that is fear of missing out. I have to sign up for the thing, right? And then it ends up being that I never even look at it or, and I have a feeling I'm not alone in all of this because Suzanne Baker was on board with like, yeah, she could relate. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, especially the fear of missing out on things, and especially in the fitness and yoga and coaching world, we feel like we've got to sign up for all the things. And I do think at times those can be good, but are we signing up for it because we really need it and it can, take us further, or are we signing up for it because of the whole fear of missing out? Like, oh, I can't miss that. And not saying you can't get something from it, but again, I've signed up for courses, which, this is our financial situations can get worse because we're always signing up for things and buying things. It could be the courses or the physical stuff. And yet we don't even use it, or becomes of no benefit to us because we're not like we might be financially invested, but we're not mentally invested in it. So, and I am guilty of that one. Um, but so how do we get past that, and what's really sparking it? And um maybe you can ask the people listening or watching, can ask yourself to start really thinking about the things around you. How often are you using them? Are they of benefit? Are they now just clutter, right? Are they just
Mhm.
taking up space? Have they become dust collectors? So that's
That's absolutely true. Um, yeah, you
Yeah.
have to ask yourself a few questions as how is this going to serve me? And most importantly, how can I use this to serve others? And if, I don't know, I'm inundated with on my social media of all these different um courses, and they may be $5, they may be $7, but then once they suck you in, then you upgrade to something that's, higher, higher, higher. I understand they're trying to sell a product, they're trying to get you in because this is something that's important to you at the time, but they give you this little itty bitty bit of information and then suck you in for more and more money. I don't know about you, but my pocketbook can't handle all that. So um, will this serve you, and will you be able to financially benefit from it? And if it doesn't, then it's out the door. Don't even think about it anymore. Everybody's different. Everybody's got a different way of thinking about it. Some people, and I'm guilty too, included, keep trying to get new things because you want the latest and greatest. But honestly, even the simple things are fine. Um, and I like to, I'm trying to downsize. I don't know for our viewers here, you might see a different background. This is the same room, it's just a different area that I'm trying to declutter my office. And it's a long process because I have collected all the shiny things. So, but I want to live more humbly and not get drawn into all the things. And we were talking about all this. This applies to everything in your life. Do you need this much clothes? Do you need these many pairs of shoes? Do you really need this, that, and this and that clothes? Um, you may not. My finances aren't going to let me do that though. And
Even even somebody who's financially able, right? Is is it, I guess, taking away from living? Because if you're always cleaning and decluttering and straightening and all of
mhm,
that, or you can't find what you're looking for because there's so
I'm
much of
guilty of that.
something. Yeah. And so it might financially, you might be able to afford the things, let's say, even, but how is it beneficial to your life? Because again,
Mhm.
if it takes me a half an hour to find something that I could have found in 5 minutes if it wasn't as cluttered, now I'm considering my time as money, right? Let's think about
Right.
that. Now I'm losing my time
Mhm.
and maybe my sanity, because I don't know about you, but when I can't find something, I get a little aggravated.
I do too. Yes, absolutely. Um, and with all the new fitness things, we have a treadmill and two total gyms. And the total gyms that we bought were, well, one of them was secondhand, so we didn't pay a whole lot of money for. I think it's like $150, but it's a really nice total gym. And and then you start going, oh, well, I need this. And I was like, oh, I'd love to have a rebounder and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope, 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 nope. All these things will get out in the fresh air and walk. And I did make a purchase, but I went to we have some stores here in South Carolina that are the five below. Is that
Oh,
five
we have those
below?
too. Yeah.
And I got me some 5 pound weights. And that's simple. I got two of them. And they work really just as good. I mean, you don't have to buy all the brand name things and have the brand athletic clothing, the cheap athletic clothes. I think it's Athletica. I mean, I don't know. Is that the cheap one? Am I thinking about? Um,
No,
that's just as good as
Athleta actually is a
Athleta.
higher, they
Athletic.
actually are not cheap clothes, but they are good quality. I will
Yeah,
give
I
that.
can't think of the name of it right off. I know one of them is like Lulu Lemon. That's crazy expensive, but I won't be purchasing those. But
And still, even regardless if it's cheap or expensive, you can overdo it on any of them. Like, do you really need 20 pair of leggings, right?
same color.
There's only 7 days in a week. Like, yeah, even, even if you worked out twice a day, you still have too many.
Well, and then we have our own home gym, so we don't go anywhere to show off to anybody about, hey, look at my new outfit, new shoes. No.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people wear them out as they call it athleisure wear.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
wear it out in public now. It's not just for the gym anymore. And it's great. But again, do you need 20 leggings, 20 tank tops? Are you ever going to wear all these things? And you might rotate. I get
Hmm.
it. Okay, even in a month, even if you rotated, you know, do you really need a different outfit for every day of the month? I mean, maybe you think you do, and maybe you do. Again, I'm not putting judgment on anyone
Oh
here.
no, no, no
It's
judgment. We've done the
this is
same thing.
basically based off of our own
Right.
personal issues here,
Listen to
and we know
us.
that
We
some people can relate.
Yeah, listen to us. We know what we talk about. Trying to save you some money.
I mean, even when I get involved in something, so when I wanted to run, right?
Mhm.
What's it take to run? Maybe a good pair of running shoes because that is important. You can't,
Mhm.
but, did I need the special running clothing then? Like, even though I had workout clothes, but oh no, now I need running clothes. And then I needed the running watch to keep track of
Yeah,
like how far I was going and all that. Well, now
yeah.
that stuff is obsolete because your phone does everything now.
Oh, it does.
So so it's like, okay, I spent all this money on this and for what? I mean, I guess at the time they didn't, maybe there wasn't the phones didn't really do
Mhm.
that, but did it really matter? Like, just go run and have fun. Like, why do I have to know exactly how far I gone? Is that for my bragging rights? Like, ooh, I ran a whole mile, like it's how important is that? Like I feel like sometimes we put the importance on the things too much,
Right,
and a lot of times I feel like it's for validation or, you know, I mean, okay, it could be for personal knowledge, right? But what do most of us do? Oh, I ran 2 miles. Let me go post that on Facebook. Everybody's got to know, And
hmm,
yes, we like encouragement. And I'm not saying don't post those things, but that shouldn't be why you went out and bought the fancy watch so you could be able to tell everybody how far you ran, So you don't need that. I mean, you could just go by time. I ran for an hour,
yeah,
and
that's
and you
right.
could even go by distance. Like I ran from this street and I ended at such and such a street and back, and you could Google that and figure out how far it was. So technically, you can do everything with the phone, right?
Right, exactly. We don't
I
need
don't
the
know.
next, what is it, the golden calf? We don't need that, right?
No, oh goodness, definitely not that.
We are not idolizing that. I have a friend of
Yeah,
mine who she's walking, and all she's posted how not well defined her calf is looking now. She's not posting about how many miles or not showing the clothes or anything. She's just posting results, and I
yeah,
think showing results will get people motivated into doing that. So once you start seeing
yeah.
that, then everybody like, ooh, yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, and like
But
again, it's okay if you want to show, went this far or whatever, but it's not, I guess we thinking about, do I really need this? Will I really use it? Like a lot of times when I'm making a purchase, especially now, like, okay, do I need it? Is it beneficial? How often would I use it? Like I'm really thinking it through now. And it's even like, um, can it do more than can it be used for more than one thing? That's a big thing for me now. Like, is it just specific for that, or can I use it for more things? And but we can like, especially with the exercise equipment, I've got to have I had to have all the things. So I've got, the treadmill and the ball and the weights and there are the one thing I do use all the time is my treadmill and I do
mhm.
use my weights all the time. A lot of the other things like I've got boxes of exercise videos. Well, you know,
Yeah,
I even
I've
when I
heard.
bought them, I never used all of them. And now, you get a lot online digitally now. But
Yeah.
still, it was like, again, it added to clutter. But it's like I always have to have the thing. And I mean, how many people have clothes in their closet that they've worn once, or they
Hmm.
still got tags on them and they haven't worn them at all, or even equipment, you know, I was just with people talking about, oh, I got this at Christmas. Oh, how is it? Oh, I haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
We're in July. They got it at Christmas and they still haven't used it, so I think a lot of times we get things with great intention. And but I think sometimes, are we looking to fill something that, to make ourselves feel better? Like, are we medicating ourselves? Retail, you heard the term retail therapy.
Yeah.
Like, is that what we're doing? You know, a lot of times I feel like, we're looking for things that only God can give us, right?
Right.
Joy and stuff like that, because these things are only going to be temporary. And of
Mhm.
course, we're all in at first. When it's the same with diet, and exercise, like that's why a lot of people get on these diet programs, these crazy diet programs,
Yeah.
because,
Just
oh,
trying new things.
it's the new thing that's going to work this time, even though they're doing the same stuff just a little differently. It's not the, again, like with us being coaches, whole foods and
Yeah.
intentional movement. It's not about restricting to, big time, those, that whole um mindset is old way of doing things. Like, it's eating less processed food, less, refined sugars,
Hmm.
those kind of things. But yet people still go to these, ooh, this is the best diet program ever. And they find they're in this, the only thing that's lost weight is their wallet. And
Oh yeah. My mom always told me that if you want to know where your money went, just look at your receipts. And she's
yeah,
absolutely right. And, nowadays, it's so easy you're scrolling through social media and an ad pops up and you're like, ooh, okay, it's 42% off. Let me buy it, and
yeah.
that's how it makes it so easy to just shop
Yeah.
from your,
And that's the thing. I mean, everybody's trying to sell you something, and not saying
oh
that that's
yeah.
a bad, again, not always a bad thing. I mean,
Mhm.
but are we getting ourselves into a financial crisis over it, or even a mental crisis because all of this stuff is in your way? And like some of the stuff that is now in my way are things that I did use and I used a
Mhm.
lot. But maybe, like for me, maybe for you, I'm in a different season now.
Yes.
So I did that thing, loved it, enjoyed it, but now that time has passed and it's just not something I care to do. Okay, it's time to unload. And even, you know, you can sell stuff everywhere now. So maybe I
Oh yeah.
need to sell some things so someone else can use it. But it's just, I guess we're just trying to make awareness of, you don't need all the things to enjoy life, to be able to get healthy, especially like she showed you the hand weights. Hand weights are pretty inexpensive, and you don't need the whole barbell system and all of that necessarily.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly.
yeah, it's just, we don't need all the things. And just being real strategic about what you do bring into your home and things like that. And even like, again, with classes, I'm taking a training for a menopause specialist, a
And
coach specialist.
so
And
excited for you. So
and
excited.
and that has such great benefit, because not only for myself, because that's what really pulled me into it, is
Hmm.
because, okay, here's the stage of life I'm going into. I like to be able to handle myself, as best I can. So I wanted the education for myself, but also because I know all my friends are around my age, and they're all going through it too. And, maybe I'll have something to benefit to them. So this was something that I really strategically thought about, and is this worth it? And it was an absolute yes. And still, I don't have that much farther to go in it, but it's been very helpful for my own health. So it was 100%, where I needed to. Do I have other courses that I probably will never finish, that I've purchased years ago, actually, and I never will? Like, I had to get it because, oh, it was on sale, and oh, everybody else is taking it. And then nothing is ever going to happen with it. And I just tossed my money, away. So it's really just thinking it through. And if you're just trying to fill something, fill yourself with God's word, because
Amen.
my goodness, he is the only one who's truly going to satisfy that. You could buy all the things and it will never satisfy, that inner joy that only God can give you. And so yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he doesn't get tired of us, and that we're important enough that,
Right.
and we're always important. Like, it's not like us, we're wishy-washy with stuff. Like, this is important today, and then tomorrow it's not. And so, but yeah, so
Yeah,
that,
I hope that we, could help someone today. I mean, with this, because if they're sitting there on the fence about something, they can just look at it again and think about it and, pray about it. Ask God if this is going to serve you in your life. So I hope
can
it's
you live
helpful.
without it?
Yeah, can you live without it? Absolutely.
And sometimes we think we can't, but
Yeah.
I always say, what's going on in my life that I wouldn't
Hmm.
be able to do if I didn't have it, right?
Right.
And
Right.
figure that out. And again, can we have something that's maybe a little unnecessary sometimes? Probably, but in the end, is it going to become the thing stuffed in the
Right.
corner, or in the closet, or in the attic, or the basement? And, you know, save yourself your money, build up your bank account.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so, or if you really want to give your money away that bad, there's charities, right? Go give
Right.
it to a
Yeah.
charity. That's the other thing. If you do find, like, with all my clutter and stuff, plenty
Hmm.
of charities that'll take stuff. So gather up those donations.
That's right.
Yeah. So do you have anything else to add
No,
before we
I think
go?
that's it.
Yeah.
Just if you wanting to, well, other than if you're wanting to get in touch with either one of us, Suzanne Baker with Southern Grace Wellness at gmail.com. You can email me there, or you can find me on social media, Southern Grace Wellness. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok as that.
Yes. And I'm on Facebook as myself, Suzanne Penn, and I also have a website, Radiant Bloom Yoga and Wellness, and my email is radiantbloomyogaandwellness@gmail.com. Would love if you would click the like button, subscribe. We would love that.
Yeah,
It helps us to be able to do more of what we're doing, and
just thumbs up.
yeah, continue to bring good stuff. So thank you for supporting and being part of this Wellness Warriors family.
Absolutely.
And hopefully you will go and enjoy your day and not buy things you don't need, right?
That's right.
And declutter. So, I'm gonna go declutter. So
Me
have
too.
a, yeah, have a wonderful,
Right.
wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day.